Okay, sorry about that. Take two. This is Angela Dahlgren. I'm doing a Facebook Live. Before, I wasn't sure if the camera was turned into landscape, so I didn't know if you could see me sideways. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I'm not from Magic Kingdom this week like I was last week, but, you know, you still get to talk to me. I still get to answer some questions. Let's see. You can look at my Power Rangers shirt while I pull my shade down a little bit. Ooh. Is that better? You can see me a little better? Okay, I don't think it made any difference. Sorry, guys. Let's try again. Okay, I swear, I was prepared for this live chat. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, we have lots of questions to answer. I said, hi, guys, I'm doing a chat. What questions do you have? And I got like 30 questions. So I answered as many as I could, and I will try to answer some along the way. So in the meantime, tell me where you are watching from and tell me what the best part of your week was. I will start because, I don't know, I asked the question. I'm from Minnesota, and the best part of my week was getting my very first stripe in jiu-jitsu. If you've heard of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that's what I've recently started practicing, and I'm a white belt, so I'm just terrible, but I got my first stripe, very excited. Yeah, so that was really exciting. Hello, Tom. Okay, Disney dialogue question. I do this every time. I talk about it every time. If you're new to our live chats, I do a Disney dialogue question where I just want to hear your answers. Instead of me talking, I want to hear what you have to say. So this is inspired by Liz Driscoll. She asked me a really fun question. She said, one day, one Disney park, $100 you must spend while there. What's your plan? So my question is, if you have $100 that you must spend in a day at Disney, let's say you can't, it doesn't include food. What would you spend your $100 on? So, Disney dialogue question, if you had $100 that you had to spend at Disney in one day, what would you buy? So I will start by answering the question. Nathan, hello from Tennessee. Thank you for joining us. I would go to Magic Kingdom Park, and I would start off by having breakfast at either Be Our Guest or Cinderella's Royal Table because, if this is like our dream perfect day, that's what I would want to do. That's assuming I got a dining reservation. And then afterwards, I'd go right in the morning, go super early before the park opens so that as soon as the park opens, I can race to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and then Pirates of the Caribbean. And then I got both of those out of the way, and it would be great. In a perfect world, if you could make FastPass Plus reservations with any tiers you want, I'd make them for like Enchanted Tales with Belle, Splash Mountain, probably Haunted Mansion. So I do those. What would I eat for lunch? Well, right now I'm craving a hot dog, so I'd probably have a hot dog from like Casey's Corner. Oh, here I am. You can see me now. Can you tell I've had coffee? I have like so much energy. I'm sorry. You're going to get sick of me really fast. I'm just going to slide down. Okay, we don't have any more questions. You guys, only like one person has told me where they're watching from. I need to see more. I want to see where you guys are and what you're doing today. Yeah, so we'll come back to that question if people start giving their responses. But let's go into the questions that I have received. And if you have any, just comment below. I will try to answer them. And if I can't, I always go back and type in the answer later. All right? Okay, so Aurelio said, will I be able to go to Pandora at night and walk around if I don't have a FastPass Plus reservation for the rides? You can. But it will be very crowded as of now, especially now that we're into summer. I think I saw a wait for, I think this is a later question too. I saw a wait for between 360 to 400 minutes for, I think, Flight of Passage. Oh my gosh, that's like so long. I don't know who would actually wait that long in line. I would just make the Fast Pass if I could get one. I just don't have the patience personally. But yeah, you can walk around for sure, but it will be crowded because it's popular, it's brand new, people are curious. So yeah, just keep that in mind, and thank you for the question, Aurelio. Lynn Marie Johnson, hi from New Hampshire. My aunt lived there for many, many years. It is beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Next question, how long can I expect a sit-down meal in the park from start to finish? Like, how long will it take? It really just depends on how many people are in your party. It depends on, if you have kids with you, they take longer to eat, or they just want to eat and leave. But I would average about 40 minutes. from start to finish, from the time you sit down, get your drinks, order, leave. About 40 minutes. Ashley, hi from Tennessee. Our second person from Tennessee, hello. Any idea when they will release December park hours? You know, it should be anytime. It should be soon. I guess it's like 7 months away, isn't it? But I would say in the next month, I would think. But that's kind of a question that I'm answering a little later too, so stay tuned. Dina said, hi from Louisiana. Hello. Jeannie's joining us. Hello, Jeannie. Okay, next question from Judith Smith. We're taking our kids for the first time next year. They will be 4 and 5 years old. Would you recommend we take a stroller? Girl, yes, I would. Oh my gosh. I swear I'm going to be that parent that's like trying to force my kid into a stroller when they're like 10. Like, I am so pro strollers. I don't care if I'm being judged. Oh no, I dropped you. Are you okay? Sorry, it was my tripod. This is just not going well today, is it? I don't know. Okay, we're good. We're back. Okay, Jeannie is she's in Disney World today, and she says it's just pouring rain. It looks like Space Mountain Magic Kingdom then, yeah. That's a bummer when you have to go when it's raining. When I was there last week, it was the same kind of thing. I'm not a fan. But back to my very exciting stroller story. Yeah, my kids are 1 and 3. I love the concept of bringing a stroller. Do not feel ashamed if your kids are older and they still want to be in one. Consider yourself lucky if they're still in a stroller. I love it for so many reasons. You know, first of all, if your kids are willing to sit in the stroller, you know, then you just, especially through the airport, that's what I do, is I keep them in the stroller and I know they're safe. We walk, we go through security and we walk to our gate, and then we just like stroller them right up to the ramp and get on the plane and just check the stroller at the gate. It's so much easier. It's a lot faster too. And then once you're in the parks, they can nap in the stroller. If you want to just take a rest at a table or a bench, you can use the stroller as chairs for the kids and they don't have to get up or make room or anything. And it's just, you can also have them delivered. Like, there are a lot of stroller services. I did a review on 4 of them about a year or 2 ago. So that's on our TouringPlans website if you're ever curious about which brands are good for renting strollers, which I've had good experience with several of them. But you can also rent Disney strollers. They are not comfortable at all. It's hard plastic, but if you're in a bind, they are there available for you. And they also have wheelchairs available. Okay, let's see. Gotta scroll down. You guys are funny. You said, ouch. I know, when I dropped the phone. My phone's okay. It didn't crack. Is there an Orlando stroller company that I recommend? Gosh, if I can, since the review was 2 years ago, I remember in my review, all 4 of them were really good. I mean, they were the Disney affiliated stroller companies. I know Kingdom was one of them, and I had good experience with them. Oh, I will look that up. I will post I'll post the blog article below after this. So I'll just put that as a comment under TouringPlans. So if you're curious, you can kind of look up and see my review and kind of make the decision for yourself. Yeah. All right. And Lisa was saying there are strollers that can hold up to 110 pounds. Yeah. So if your kid really wants to be in one, I do not judge you. It is so easy. So much easier. Then again, if your kids don't want to be in one, I get that too. Okay. Next question. We're doing good. And hi, if you're just joining, it's Angela Dahlgren. Thank you for watching. Okay, I have a question from Lindy Nelson. She said, booked at Tusker House for an 8 a.m. reservation way before Animal Kingdom started opening at 8 a.m. She's worried that there won't be a restaurant reservation line. If there isn't one, what time do you think we should get to the park? Thanks in advance. You always give such great advice. Well, thank you, Lindy. I researched for you guys, so hopefully I can answer the questions correctly. I wasn't sure what you meant by restaurant reservation line, so I'm just going to talk from the perspective of what I thought you meant. So first of all, I would get to the park at least 30 minutes early, because normally for reservations, they suggest getting there 15 minutes beforehand. That's just what Disney suggests, is get to your restaurant 15 minutes beforehand. So yeah, I would suggest getting to the park at least 30 minutes ahead of time, because especially, you know, with Pandora World of Avatar open, you don't know how many people are going to be lined up or if there's going to be a crowd. So that's just a safe bet. And since I'm not sure what you meant by restaurant reservation line, I assumed that you meant as far as like getting into the park before it opens. So I'm just going to talk about it from my experience doing Be Our Guest. So I had an 8:10 reservation for Be Our Guest, but Magic Kingdom didn't open until 9. So we got into the park because at Magic Kingdom you can get into the park an hour before it opens. And we went to the rope drop and we had to show them our Magic Band that had the reservation on it so they could check to make sure that we actually were going to eat there. And then from there, we got to go on through, and then there was another cast member that points you in the right direction. So if that happens where you have to get into Animal Kingdom early for a reservation, you know, 15 minutes ahead of time or whatever, there should be cast members that should direct you in the right direction, if that makes sense. I feel like I just said direction and cast member a lot. But if you still have questions about that, Lindy, just reply to this. Okay. All right, let's see. Do we have anything else that I've missed? You guys, I mean, you're so quiet today. Am I really talking that much? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you. Tell me where you're from. Tell me the best part of your week. Tell me your weekend plans. I just want to know about you. All right. So Holly said, getting ready to make dining reservations tomorrow. Does anyone know why Rivers of Light dining packages are not available? I noticed there aren't times for the show every night starting in September. Will it not be showing in December? Will they release dining packages at a later date? Thanks for all your wonderful content. Thank you for your question, Holly. Oh my gosh, I am like dropping everything. My charger just fell on the ground. I'm a mess. Okay. So Holly, yeah, she basically wants to know why she's either not seeing dates for the dining package for Rivers of Light in September or December. She wants to know why they're not there. She's wondering if they're gonna... Yeah, so when I read up on this, Rivers of Light doesn't always do 2 shows a night. They will often do 2 shows a night if it's like a peak day. If it's going to be a really high crowded day, they'll do 2 shows. But sometimes they'll just do 1. So this could be a variety of reasons. It could be that there's maybe a private event where maybe they're closing the park for that. And it could be that those December dates aren't out yet. Because, yeah, that's 7 months away, so that wouldn't be 180 days. So that could be the reason. It could also be due to the number of seats. You know, Rivers of Light holds half the seats that Fantasmic does. So it could be that those dining packages are already booked, and because of the number of seats, there's just not room. And then in that case, if you can't get a Rivers of Light dining package, then I would definitely suggest getting a Fast Pass if you can. Making a Fast Pass Plus reservation. So thank you for your question. It took me a really long time to get all those words out, but I hope it made sense. What are the Fast Pass Plus tiers at Animal Kingdom now that Pandora has opened? Kim wants to know. I know for sure that you can only pick Flight of Passage or Rivers of Light for that tier 1 when it comes to the Avatar attractions. They're both in the same tier. If it were me, I would get a Fast Pass Plus reservation for Flight of Passage. Yeah, Flight of Passage. I would get that over, why am I saying Rivers of Light when that's not right? The boat ride. Navi River Journey. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so if you had to choose between the 2, go with Flight of Passage, and then even go when the park first opens and do the Navi River Journey. Or, you know, if you want a better ambiance, you could wait till night. Heather said she called and spoke to Disney about the Rivers of Light issue that I just talked about, and she said that they couldn't even tell her why there were no dates for the Rivers of Light dining package. Thank you, Heather. That's really good to know. I'm glad that you called and shared that information with us. Yeah, so stay tuned. I would definitely wait just another month, Holly. But, I mean, you have to make reservations by tomorrow. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Maybe try for the Fast Pass when you're 30 to 60 days out. That might be your best bet. Next question. Eleanor says, 6-hour wait for Pandora. Is this real? Is it going to get better by October? Yeah, that's really long waits, you guys. And that's, you know, mainly for the standbys for the 2 attractions. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we've seen waits from 360 minutes all the way to 400 minutes. It's just crazy. It's just, I don't know. I guess it was kind of similar for Soarin' when that first came out too. So it's just kind of the novelty of it being brand new. It will wind down, I'm sure. I'm thinking it will wind down by fall, especially because it won't be summer and kids will be back in school, so the crowds will just be a little lower. So I think it should be much, much better by then. Yes, but definitely if you can, go for a fast pass plus reservation, if you can get one. All right. Lynn Marie Johnson said, unfortunately, Disney doesn't give the dining cast members any info more than a couple days ahead. I found out about things on the Disney Parks blog before the cast members are told. Well, it's kind of, it makes it a little tougher for them to do their job, doesn't it? If, you know, they're finding out either right before or after the public does. So that's very difficult. I kind of feel bad for them. Tom says, is it difficult to add a deluxe dining plan to room-only reservation? No. My sister-in-law is actually planning a trip, and she, at the time, did not get the dining plan. She just booked the room, and she was able to add it. Although now I think they changed it where you have to book it like 3 to 5 days before your trip. Something like that. But you know what? I've also seen that you can just like go right, like check in and add the dining plan. So I will double check my information because I just gave you 2 different answers, and I will reply, Tom, to your question after this. Sharon said, any new info on the rumor of the Haunted Mansion themed restaurant at Walt Disney World? Have you guys heard this rumor? I kind of like vaguely heard it. I mean, probably like a week ago. Yeah, like a week ago. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. The rumor was, I don't want to say started, but the rumor kind of came about. Someone posted on this message board about the possibility of a Haunted Mansion themed restaurant. There are so many Haunted Mansion fans out there. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's a huge following. You know, they've even had the gift shop, and they've made the movie, and if you go to like someplace like Hot Topic, they have just tons of merchandise. Yeah, it's a really big thing. So I can definitely see how people would want a Haunted Mansion themed restaurant. I think at one point, like decades ago, they were even thinking about a hotel. I'd be too scared to stay there personally, but I could see how that would be kind of fun too. We haven't really heard anything beyond that original message board rumor. So that nothing makes us believe that's necessarily going to happen or that Disney's announced anything. There's really not a ton of room in that area in Walt Disney World. I mean, where would they even put it? You know, maybe Columbia Harbor House, but that's not in a super close location. Would they replace the gift shop and put it there? I don't know. There's just not a lot of room. So stay tuned. I mean, the option is always to put it in a different Disney park, like Shanghai or something, you know, where maybe they have a little more room. But we will keep you posted on anything that we hear. Let's see if we have any more questions. Tom, you're welcome. Lynn Marie said, Haunted Mansion is my fave. I'd be camping out for the opening. It is huge. You know, it's like that Nightmare Before Christmas following. You know, it's like that cult classic that people just love, and it just gets bigger and bigger over time. Julianne said, are all Pop Century rooms getting refurbished? If so, when will it be completed? Can I move my piece of paper over there? Yes, they are all getting redesigned, and it should be completely done by like May of 2018, I think. They're going building by building, and I know that some buildings are already done with the refurb. So I think as early as like this month, you can start requesting the refurbished rooms. Yeah, I think so. So, good to know. Tom said, is the parade viewing from the boat with Tiana still going? Oh, I don't think I've heard of that. That's kind of neat. Are you talking about from the ferry or from like the fireworks kind of cruise thing, Tom? Let me know, because I'm curious about that. Jacqueline's planning a trip for January 2019. Anything big besides Pandora coming by then? You know, around, we've been hearing 2019, I think 2020 for Star Wars Land, maybe 2019 for that Toy Story Land. So there's going to be that if it gets completed, if it's not pushed back. Let me know if those years are wrong for the Toy Story Land or Pixar Land or whatever. But I thought I heard 2019, so that would be kind of something big, which would be fun for you to experience. Julianne, thanks for answering my question. Got a trip planned for November and was wondering if we could score a refurbished room at Pop Century. I mean, maybe if you can start requesting now, it's definitely worth asking. Again, room requests are exactly that. It's a request. And we actually have a TouringPlans room request feature on our website. So although we can't guarantee that we'll make the room, that you'll get the room that you want, that's kind of typical if you were to call it Disney yourself and request a room. Yeah, we'll do that about probably 5 days before your trip, and hopefully it'll work out for you. You're able to put a more detailed request in through our feature too. Like you can even put like the exact room you want, so you can make it very detailed. So check that out if you haven't. I have a video about that on our YouTube page as well. Okay. Sorry, I'm scrolling down. Change of subject. Is Volcano Bay having a few problems? Not hearing good reviews here in the UK. You know, I haven't been closely following it just because I focus more on Walt Disney World for my part of the job. I would love to expand to Disneyland, but I want to make some trips there first. I go to Disney World the most, but I need to start going to Disneyland. I told my husband that if we go to California, we can go to the Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy and do classes there, but we also have to go to Disneyland for a few days too. So hopefully that trade-off will work for him. You know, it was being said like the day before Volcano Bay opened that some of the attractions weren't ready, like 3 out of the 4 weren't. But, you know, as far as I know, it's been going, you know, fine, okay. But I'm also not a reliable source because I don't know a lot about it. So your best bet is, you know, like check our TouringPlans Twitter, because I know that my colleagues, they live tweet from the parks all the time, and they have lots of great photos. They answer questions while they're there too. So if you haven't followed us on Twitter, it's at TouringPlans. Starlight Safari, given the price, Heather wants to know. Oh my gosh, I like feel so behind. I don't know about this either. It's like I've been in this bubble. I'm going to answer that. I'll research. I'll get back to you, Heather. I know if Brian were here, he would know everything and he would give you the most awesome answers ever. But I'm not that skilled yet. I got a few more years that I have to get under my belt. Okay, Tom said for the Tiana boat fireworks thing, from the Liberty River boat that goes around Tom Sawyer Island, it was an extra ticket, ice cream social, and meet Tiana and Prince Naveen. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, if they're still doing it, I definitely want to. My daughter loves Tiana. I love the music from the film. So I'm going to look up on that as well. Ashley answered it for Tom. Thank you, Ashley. The Tiana Parade viewing is still available for booking online. She checked it for their trip next week. I am not someone who claims to know everything about Disney. I am a youngest, so I was always told what I was doing wrong growing up, so it doesn't offend me if I'm wrong and if I get corrected. So always, if I'm wrong or if I don't know the answer, always feel free to comment below, because then I learned something and you guys learned something, and it makes this live chat more worth it for everyone watching. So please feel free to do that. Okay, let's go on to my next question. What's the best time to go during the summer? I think I answered this question last week, but because we're into summer, I'm just going to give you my answer from our starting point right here. I would say as close to the end of August as you can get, because that's when school's starting to start. It's when school's starting for a lot of people. So the crowds are going to just get lower and lower and lower. It's still going to be hot, and it's even going to be hot in September, but as close to the end of August as you can get. Otherwise, June and July are just going to be very busy. May's a good time to go, so I would definitely get in beginning to mid-May if you can, too, if you consider that summer, which I don't know if you do. Sean said, I have heard 2018 for Toy Story Land and 2019 for Star Wars Land. Thank you for letting us know, Sean. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you watching. I see your name pop up a lot during these live chats, so it means a lot that you join us. Do you guys see how my camera's kind of like slowly dripping? And Katie said she heard the same thing, so thank you so much. How often do we do the live shows? Travis wants to know. Oh my gosh, don't vomit, you guys. Sorry, I just want to make this straight because I'm a little bit type A when it comes to that. Is it straight? Probably not. We do these live Facebook shows every Thursday between 11 and noon Eastern time. And Brian and I like to switch off. He had his child's kindergarten graduation, so he's not here today, so I'm doing it. But Brian will be next week, next Thursday. So every Thursday between 11 or noon Eastern time. And when I am at Walt Disney World, I always try to do at least one Facebook Live because it is my favorite thing to do. There's so much energy and I'm so excited to be there, and you guys watching and sharing that excitement with you is truly like the best part of my job. I love it. I love it. If I could live there, I would do this like twice a week for you. It's just so fun. Okay. Sean, we go end of August, early September. Good time to go. It is still hot, like I said, but not near as busy as summertime. I'm going to answer another question, and then I'll get back to your comments. Jessica said, we are staying at Fort Wilderness in February. My family wants to ride the monorail into Epcot. What is the best way to do that? There are a couple ways you could do it. You could take the bus to the Ticket and Transportation Center and hop on the monorail that way. Or you could take a boat to Magic Kingdom and then hop on that monorail, take it to the Ticket and Transportation and Ticket Center, and then take that monorail to Epcot. So there are two ways to do it. So either take a boat to the TTC or take a bus to the TTC. It's completely up to you. But it is very fun, and that's one of the reasons I like staying in that Magic Kingdom resort area, is because you can get to basically 3 parks by using the monorail. You know, you can go into Epcot and then, you know, from there walk to Hollywood Studios if you wanted, you know, or take a boat if you go through the International Gateway. So very, very neat. Jamie, if I have a 10 a.m. fast pass for Navi River Journey, what time should I arrive at Pandora? Are there still 2-hour waits just to get in the entrance? You know, I've been reading comments, and some people are saying it took them like 20 minutes to get into Pandora. Some people are saying they just walked right in. Some people are saying it's been longer. My old reliable time is always 30 minutes before your FastPass Plus reservation, 30 minutes before your dining reservation, always just 30 minutes before the park opens. Just when in doubt, 30 minutes out to arrive, not to like start your travel. Like, get wherever you need to be 30 minutes early. And the worst thing that can happen is that you'll have extra time and you'll get to walk around and enjoy all of the beautiful scenery. So it's really a win-win. So that would be my suggestion. And we have some more comments coming in, so I'm going to answer and straighten my camera again. All right. In your opinion, where is the best place to have breakfast at Walt Disney World? I just went to the Wave for breakfast last week. It was so good. I would highly suggest their buffet. Oh my gosh, like they had these cheesy bacon grits. I'd never really had grits before, but I'm like, okay, cheese, bacon, ding ding, I'm gonna eat it. And they had that. They were delicious. They have tons of bacon. I mean, it's crispy enough, but if you're someone who likes that extra crunch, just request them to make and bring you your own. But the bacon's good. You know, the hash browns are good. They have eggs. They have yogurt parfaits. They have like hard-boiled eggs that kind of look like deviled eggs. They just have so much to choose from. So the Wave has a great buffet. I really enjoyed eating at Olivia's for breakfast, although I heard they might be changing their menu. Other than that, if you're going with kids, Chef Mickey's has a really good buffet breakfast as well. Plus, you meet the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse characters. But those are probably the 3 that I've enjoyed most. Akershus is also really good. That's the Princess Breakfast at Epcot. But I'd say that the first 3 are the ones that I have enjoyed most. But that is a very good question, Heather, so thank you for asking. And Lynn Marie said Fort Wilderness has a boat that goes straight to Magic Kingdom. Yes, or goes straight to, not Epcot, but Magic Kingdom, right? Is that where that's what we're talking about, right? That's from a previous question, you guys. Okay, stay with me. There's a lag, so I gotta get going. Gotta keep up the momentum. Melissa said we're staying at Port Orleans Riverside next week. I am going to be doing a video on the Port Orleans resorts in the next few weeks, so keep a note out for that. I hear the bus situation can be a bit crowded. Do you recommend us driving to the parks each day? We will have our own car, or would you chance taking the bus? Thanks. You're welcome, Melissa. I hope I can answer this for you. I would definitely drive if you have your own car. For someone like me, you know, we fly in from Minnesota, and if we have the Disney Magical Express if we're staying on site. So we don't have a need for the car, so in that case, we would take the bus. But if you have a car, I believe parking's covered if you're staying at a Disney hotel. So just drive. It's more convenient. It's faster. You can leave when you want. You know, you can go when you want. It just is a lot easier. Plus, they have that kind of like car tram thing that will bring you to the front entrance, like with Epcot or Magic Kingdom or whatever. So I would definitely say bring a car. All right. John said Rivers of Light, FastPass Plus dinner package or standby. John, I don't know if you just joined us, but we have had viewers saying that the Rivers of Light dining packages for December and September are not showing up or they're not listed yet. So if that's the case for you, I would suggest getting a FastPass if you can. Standby, because it's such a smaller theater type place, it's half the size of Fantasmic. Standby, you might not even get to see the show. So definitely do the dining package or the FastPass Plus reservation, depending on what you want to do. All right. Jeannie said it's still pouring rain, but she's on the People Mover, and Carousel of Progress line is huge. You know what's interesting is I was there last week, and the line for the People Mover at Magic Kingdom, in case you don't know where that's located, it was just so long, and I had no idea why. I am someone who happens to love the People Mover and love Carousel of Progress. A lot of people don't like those slow, boring rides. They're my favorite because you just get to relax. Sometimes it's like sensory overload and you just need a break, especially when it's hot. Carousel of Progress line, that's been growing too. It's like people are kind of finally seeing it, you know, I don't want to say my way because it makes it sound like I started it, but they're kind of seeing that joy in the more classic rides. But with the rain, that it was raining last week when the line was bigger. I see that because people want to get out of the rain. All right. Adjust again. Move on to another question. What is the least crowded week to visit while the Christmas decorations are up? This is from Will. We're looking a Saturday to Sunday for 9 days. You know, if you want to see the decorations, November is a great time to go. It gets crowded the closer you get to Christmas, and the prices tend to get higher if you're like doing a one-day park ticket. The prices tend to get higher over the holidays as well. So I would definitely say November. When I went last year, I went early to mid-November. I think I was there around the 9th. And they were just putting together the gingerbread house at the Contemporary. That being said, the Magic Kingdom decorations were already up because we went to the Christmas party. So really, any time in November, I would say before Thanksgiving is probably a good time for you to go. It's not going to be as crowded. It used to hold true that if you went the week after Thanksgiving, that was like the best, least crowded time to go during the Christmas season. That's not necessarily true anymore. So your best bet, I would say, is November before Thanksgiving. Yeah, crowds are going to be lower. Good time to go, much more relaxed, nice weather. We're actually going to go in November this year. So I'll tell you guys when. You can come say hi to me. It'd be fun. Megan wants to know, are Jack Skellington and Sally at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party in Disney World? Yes, they are. Amanda, what is the latest information on the MaxPass system that's supposed to be rolled out at Disneyland this year? I had to research this one because I had not heard a whole lot about it. So for those of you who don't know, I'm probably just going to read this from my sheet. MaxPass is the service that if you pay a certain amount, I think the introductory price is $10. If you pay this certain amount, you'll be able to book FastPass return times via the Disneyland app, and you'll also be able to get digital downloads of your PhotoPass photos. So instead of heading to the attraction kiosk to get a paper FastPass, you'll be able to make them from the Disneyland app by paying a daily fee. But if you just go and get your FastPass via the paper one, it's free. You know, there hasn't been much news beyond the announcement that I think took place in January. I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm not the biggest fan. I can see how people would really enjoy that aspect. But if the introductory fee is $10, that's just the intro fee. You can expect it to probably go up. I will say that annual pass holders can either get that for a yearly rate or a daily rate. So maybe that's a nice perk for you to be a pass holder. But I don't know. We just haven't heard much news since January. Yeah. So I don't know. It's another one. It's another kind of stay tuned thing because I just haven't heard much. And I'm kind of surprised considering, you know, it's like June now. So I don't know. Richard said, will the new pool at Wilderness Lodge be open by July? The Disney website says that Boulder Ridge Cove Pool, is closed and it's scheduled to be reopened in 2017, but we don't know when in 2017. It's not on the website. Copper Creek Springs Pool, I think that's what it's called, that's still open, so you can still enjoy that, but as far as the Boulder Ridge one, it just says 2017 on the Disney website. It doesn't really say anything else. So I'm sorry about that. That's not very helpful. But we usually update those refurbishments on our website, so you can look at that as well. All right, FastPass suggestions: doing 4 parks each day, 5 adults and a 10, 9, 8-year-old staying at Kadani Village. You're doing 4 parks every day, John? I'm gonna need just a little clarification. Or are you picking 1 park a day? We'll get back to that question. Justin, where should I go eat on a date outside of the park other than Morimoto, Asia? People have really been enjoying the Boathouse. Oh my gosh, people have been loving the Boathouse at Disney Springs. There's that farm-to-table place. Oh, I can't think where it is. The farm-to-table one. What, Contemporary? People have been enjoying that. Let me know. I forgot. But yeah, the Boathouse is getting a lot of good press. People are loving it. My parents ate there in February, absolutely adored it. My aunt and uncle have. They've liked it. So that's a really good place. If you're looking for somewhere a little more expensive, you know, like Narcoossee's or Citricos at the Floridian, a lot of people like going there for date night, but it is more pricey. Outside of the parks, where else have I been? I did like the Paradiso 37, 47, something like that. That was okay. You know, it was all right. But yeah, Morimoto Asia is a good one. But for sure, the one that's screaming, Angela, say this, is definitely the Boathouse. People are liking that. But the Jock Lindsay's hangar, that looks so cool from Indiana Jones. That one at Disney Springs, that just looks awesome from the point of the ambiance. Like, definitely at least get a drink there if you have the chance. Yeah, so send me more questions. I just have a few more to cover, and then we'll kind of see where we're at. Best lounges for apps, drinks, desserts for an after-dinner date night. Holly wants to know. The one off the top of my head is the California Grill. Beautiful view of the Magic Kingdom area. I actually went there for the first time last week with my aunt and uncle. It was awesome. Oh my gosh, especially the view. Like, go there just for the view. And I think if you go to the opposite side of the restaurant, you can see part of Epcot. But you can go there and you don't have to have a reservation to eat there. You can go there just for the drinks. And then, you could really even see the fireworks from Magic Kingdom, although I wouldn't necessarily suggest that anymore. You know, I would have said watch the fireworks from a rooftop or from that kind of area when it was Wishes, but the new fireworks display, Happily Ever After, is unlike anything I have ever seen. Let me know if you have seen it. It is incredible. It's beyond incredible. It's almost overly stimulating because you just think, like, how can this get any better? And then it does. And the projection mapping on the castle, it wraps around the castle so tight that you think that it's just a brand new castle. I cannot say enough good things about it. I don't know how Disney will ever top this fireworks show. It is incredible. There's something new to see every time you see it, and I don't think I will ever get sick of it. I don't know how I got onto that, like, stream of consciousness rant, but fireworks were amazing. Okay. John said he specified FastPass for doing 1 park a day. For this, John, I would definitely check out our website just because, you know, we have those touring plans that you can kind of cater to your families. We have a lot of different ones that you can choose from, you know, like traveling with small kids, traveling with adults only. You can personalize your own, and then we give good suggestions. Like, for example, if you're going to Magic Kingdom, you know, we'd suggest doing, like, Peter Pan's Flight or Enchanted Tales with Belle or something. Like, we give you a list of the popular ones, and we also tell you the ones that you don't need a fast pass reservation for. Like the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, you don't really need one for that. You don't need one for Mickey's PhilharMagic. So definitely head to the website and check on the touring plans for the park that you are looking at, because we tell you which not to waste your time on, which you can wait for, and which we would definitely suggest a FastPass reservation for. I know that wasn't like a set in stone answer, but the information's on Touring Plans, and I really suggest looking at that. Not just because I work there, but because like it's great information, you guys. It's awesome. Heather said, I apologize if you've already answered this, but I haven't found a clear answer to the question. We are staying on site in November or in December and are coming close to where we can make dining reservations. And for some reason, it doesn't show me the rest of your question, Heather. It just says, since we ... And that's all I get. So I don't know what the rest of it is. I'm sorry. Start writing from the since we part, because I didn't get to see that. Do you have any thoughts on the Star Wars guided tours? Heather wants to know. I think that if you are a Star Wars fan, I mean, why not? Disney does really awesome tours. I've done their Keys to the Kingdom one. It's 8 hours. It went by and felt like it was like 3. It was Disney just does their tours really well. I also did a Segway tour at Epcot back when they still did those, and you got to go into the World Showcase and like go on a Segway through the shops, through the pavilions, and learn a lot of history about them and a lot of trivia. So if you have people in your family who are definitely Star Wars fans, why not do that tour? Definitely think it's worth it, and I think you might get special seating for the fireworks, the galactic ones. I think so, not sure. Lynn Marie, thanks for answering that question, because I did not see the question. So I assume Heather asked, can you book 180 days in advance for 10 plus days? You can book, I think, 10 days worth, if that was your question, but I didn't get to see it, so I'm sorry. Okay, other questions we had. Jenny asked about Club Villain. Now, when I heard about this, I assumed Club Villain, like the dance party that they have at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But upon researching more, I realized that it was an event at Hollywood Studios where it was hosted by Dr. Facilier, who's kind of the villain in The Princess and the Frog. And it was like a dinner show. So you pay $129 and you get dinner, cocktails, DJ, dancing, yada, yada, yada. Sorry, I'm going to put my pen down because it's making noise now. It is, according to what I've seen, it's extinct. You know, it debuted in January 2016. I haven't seen that they still do it. It used to be at the Sunset Showcase at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And then as far as Halloween, I haven't seen it promoted yet. So, yeah, that's what I know about that. Scrolling a little bit. Okay, Heather, thank you for sending your question again. Do you know if we can schedule all additional days online? No, you can do, like I said, I think up to 10 days, 180 days in advance. And then after that, there might be you might have to like wait till the next day or something if it's beyond 10 days. But for sure, up to 10 days, you can make your dining reservations 180 days in advance. Yes, and Lynn, thank you for helping with that answer. I really do appreciate that. Another question. Candace wanted to know what my opinion was on extra magic hours. I would love to hear your opinion as well, because I think everyone kind of has different thoughts on it. You know, my initial reaction is to say that I think it's a really nice concept. I've done it before. It is really nice. I also have different opinions between morning and evening extra magic hours. Evening extra magic hours seem to be a lot more crowded, and that's because, you know, people are already at the park, so they're just gonna stay. You know, where morning extra magic hours, especially at Magic Kingdom, good time to go because no one wants to get up that early, so you're gonna get a lot done in that first hour. However, if you say are not staying on property, so you can't do those extra morning hours, rethink going to that park. Say Magic Kingdom is the one who has those morning hours. I would rethink going to Magic Kingdom in the morning, because that park is going to fill up a lot faster and be a lot more crowded early in the day. So if Magic Kingdom's doing morning extra magic hours and you're not going to those, probably don't hit up Magic Kingdom until maybe afternoon or evening. Go to, like, you know, Epcot or, you know, Pandora, World of Avatar. So that's my thoughts on that. And finally, my last question that I have here is, last full week of February, is it a good time to go? That was asked by Rachel. That is actually most of the time when my family goes, is that those last 2 weeks in February, we normally pick one of those. I really like that because it's pretty good weather. I mean, we've had rain sometimes, and it's been cold before too, but it's not very busy. And, you know, it's not really when the spring breakers are coming in yet. My only concern for you is to kind of plan around the Half Princess Marathon, because that will boost the crowds a little bit. So keep that in mind. Other than that, we've gone several years, maybe like 6 or 7 at that date, and it's always been really nice for us. We really appreciate that. John said, what are the chances of getting in on a walk-up to be our guest? You know, I have a video kind of about this, well, at the time it was advanced dining reservations, but I don't think they're calling it advanced anymore. You always want to try to go for the dining reservations, making those 180 days in advance, especially for those popular attractions like Cinderella's Royal Table and Be Our Guest. Yeah, also use our reservation finder. Oh my gosh, again, not because I work there, but the TouringPlans reservation finder is bomb. Like, I have made reservations for Be Our Guest 2 weeks before my trip. It was an 8:10 reservation for breakfast, so yes, it was early, but I got a reservation for 6 people a week or 2 in advance. So definitely take advantage of that. You can make up to 2 reservations at a time. For sure, check that out. That is a really, if you can't get those reservations 180 days in advance, and if you've been trying every day for months, check out a reservation finder. Otherwise, I would say that the whole walk-up situation is a last-ditch effort. That's not to say it couldn't happen. My aunt and her, my cousin, they walked up to Cinderella's Royal Table, and they got in for dinner. Someone had canceled last minute, so that's really not to say it doesn't happen. Yeah, magic does happen. Miracles do come true. So, yeah, but I would say reservation finder for sure. How hot or how will the crowds be in the first week of August? It is going to be crazy hot, Jan. It is. I'm not going to lie to you. The crowds, I mean, kids don't really start August 1st, so I think the crowds will still be pretty high, but depending on how long you stay, that you may see them going down. That's why I'd say mid to late August, or as late into August as you can get for going to Disney World. Yeah. Lynn loves the reservation finder. Do I feel the increase in alcohol sales and it has increased irresponsible drinkers? Diane wants to know. You know, I am not a big drinker anyway. I never have been. Plus, I've been either pregnant or breastfeeding for like the past 4 years. But I've never been a big drinker, and so that's not an issue as far as me personally. Have I seen irresponsible drinking in restaurants? No, I haven't. I haven't seen anyone like swearing or being obnoxious. I have not witnessed that. You may see that more at Epcot just because you can drink around the world, but it's no one running into each other. It's no one like starting a fight. If anything, everyone's just louder, but you're outside, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I haven't really noticed much of a difference, but that is my experience. If you have had different experiences, feel free to share them under Diane's comment, because I would love to see how you guys feel about that. Marcella loves the reservation planner. Me too. Justin wants to know, do I know what's holding up the registration of Disneyland Star Wars Light Side Half? I don't. But I can ask Guy Salga about that and get back to you, because he's like our Disneyland pro. He like knows everything. Jan loves my hat. Oh my gosh, you guys. Isn't it so fun? It's the Monsters University hat, and it's even like all fringed, because in the movie, you know, the guy had it forever and then gave it to Mike Wazowski when he was little, and then he kept the hat. I was so excited to get this. I think I'm more excited about this than my Power Rangers shirt, and I was pretty geeked for this too. And if I had to pick, would I go to Walt Disney World in late August or mid-October? October. It's just going to be cooler, especially if you have young kids, you know, babies, and they can't really regulate their body temperature, and so I always kind of worry about that. But I also have a 1-year-old, so that's me personally. But mid-October, it's just nicer weather. It's still not going to be as busy because people still are in school. Where in late August, you're still going to have some kids on summer break. So mid-October all the way. Okay, I think that's all the questions. I don't see any more from you. I will not have a video out this Tuesday on our YouTube site, our YouTube page, and that's because my husband had knee surgery. He's fine, but he had surgery, so I'll be tending to his needs and playing nurse. So I will not have a video out next Tuesday, but Brian will still have his top 5, his news reports, and maybe a map video. It depends. So we're hoping for that because you guys really seem to love the map videos. I see the comments on YouTube. You guys are hilarious, and he does such a good job on them. So still head over to our YouTube page and subscribe. We just had a giveaway where we gave away subscriptions to TouringPlans. So we're pretty active there. Also check out our Instagram, Twitter. All that information is pretty much in any YouTube video you watch. But I had a lot of fun with you guys. Jeannie says that the sun's finally out at Magic Kingdom, so I hope that everyone has a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.